The night the will was read, my grandmother pressed 3 crimson-sealed letters into our palms and whispered, "A token for the new year." The chandelier flickered like it knew the punchline. My aunt and uncle burst into that brittle, rehearsed laughter, the kind that ricochets off crystal and lands nowhere. "Another of Evelyn's theater pieces," my aunt trilled, dabbing a non-existent tear. My uncle snorted, already scrolling his phone. I said nothing, only tucked my letter inside my scarf and felt the paper pulse against my ribs. They thought it was vintage Evelyn, eccentric and harmless. They were wrong. I'm Lila Voss, listening from a rain-slicked loft in Seattle, where the fairy horns sound like morning. Tell me where you're hearing this, so I know I'm not the only one who's watched gratitude curdle into greed. My parents, Marcus and Delphine, curated perfection the way others collect watches. Charity galas, filtered sunsets, captions that dripped humility while screaming wealth. They never admitted the seed money came from Evelyn Voss, widow of a timber baron who still darned her own socks. Evelyn's fortune was quiet: orchards, waterfront parcels, dividends that arrived like polite guests. She believed in labor, loyalty, and the eloquence of silence. Maybe that's why she trusted me. I scraped by restoring mid-century flats for tech money, no assistant, no safety net. My parents called it slumming. New Year's Eve, we gathered at her cedar-shingled manor on the Sound. Salt wind rattled the windows, the table gleamed with heirloom china. Small talk about markets and rain until Evelyn produced the letters. "Something to start the year right," she murmured. My aunt's laugh cracked like ice. "Mother, you're priceless." Uncle winked. Always the dramatist. I felt heat crawl up my neck. I didn't open mine. I simply said, "Thank you," and slid it beneath my napkin. Evelyn's gaze lingered on me, something ancient and approving in her eyes. Later, in the powder room, my aunt hissed, "Don't encourage her delusions, Lila. It's probably a coupon for socks." Uncle chuckled. "She's testing who still kisses the ring." I stared at my reflection until the glass fogged. Or maybe I thought, she's testing who still sees her. Back in my loft, the radiator clanked like loose change. I slit the crimson seal with a butter knife. Inside, a bearer bond, 7 figures, Evelyn's spidery signature unmistakable. I stared until the numbers blurred, then locked it in the tin box with my first invoice and a photo of us replanting apple saplings when I was 10. I didn't plan to cash it. I just couldn't treat it like confetti. Morning brought a text from Juno, my collaborator, "Spill the tea on Evelyn's circus." I typed, "Same clowns, different tent." She fired back a voice note, "You're the only one with a spine, Voss. Keep shining." The bond nagged at me. "Keep it close," Evelyn had said. On impulse, I photographed it through the credit union app. Went back to sketching a penthouse reno. Hours later, my phone buzzed. Unknown caller. "Miss Voss? Puget Trust. Your deposit posted instantly." My pulse stuttered. If mine cleared. The storm arrived in texts. "Aunt Celeste, did you tattle to grandmother?" "Uncle Theo, this is elder abuse, Lila." Mom called, voice trembling with rehearsed calm. She voided ours. Said we mocked the gesture. "Explain yourself." I hadn't. I'd only believed. Evelyn summoned us again. Same manner, same china, but the air tasted metallic. She entered carrying 3 slim folders, spines straight as a ship's mast. "Bank records," she announced, dealing them like cards. "Yours bounced, Celeste." "Yours too, Theo." Lila's processed at dawn. Aunt Celeste's mascara ran in perfect streaks. "This is punishment." Evelyn's eyes were winter water. "No, it's consequence." Uncle Theo slammed the table. "We've humored your quirks for decades." Evelyn's voice cut clean. "You humored my wallet, never my worth." She slid the final folder to me. "The orchards. The beach lots, the liquid reserves, yours to steward, Lila. Not reward. Duty." Aunt Celeste sobbed theatrically. Uncle Theo threatened lawyers. They left tires spitting gravel. Evelyn and I ate soul in silence, fire spitting pine. "You didn't cash it for gain," she said. I shook my head. "I cashed it for proof you were real." She smiled, small and fierce. "Respect is the only inheritance that compounds." A week later, her attorney, Ruth, walked me through ledgers in a cedar-paneled office. Evelyn insists you understand. This is a baton, not a crown. I nodded. The baton felt heavier than any crown. My parents haven't spoken since. Aunt Celeste sent one text, "Enjoy your blood money." I left it on read. When I visit Evelyn now, we prune apple trees and speak of soil pH, not portfolios. Before I leave, she presses a new envelope into my hand unsealed. Inside, a single line in fountain pen. Wealth is noise. Character is the only quiet worth keeping. Driving home through drizzle, wipers keeping time, I pass the credit union and feel the tin box in my glove compartment like a second heart. They thought the bond was counterfeit. The only forgery that night was their affection. I didn't inherit fortune. I inherited the right to stop auditioning for people who never clapped. Some truths arrive in crimson wax, not ribbons. They bruise before they bomb. If you've ever chosen dignity over dynasty, forward this and tell me, would you have opened the letter at the table, or waited until the house was empty and the fire low?